This is a complete compilation movie of the Broly Future Past arc, combining parts 1 through 6 into one full story. If you're new to the series, this is the perfect place to start and experience the entire arc from beginning to end. If you've already watched the previous parts, you can continue the story by watching Part 7. Thank you for your support, and enjoy the movie.
So, this story begins during the fight between Broly and Gogeta. When Gogeta launched his attack on Broly, at that exact moment, Chilai made a wish and sent Broly back to where he came from. Shenron fulfilled Chilai's wish and sent Broly back to his place of origin. Everything becomes calm, and after some time, we see that both Chilai and Limo go to planet Vampa and start searching for Broly. They both go to Broly's old home as well, but Broly is not there either. Chilai is deeply shocked seeing all this. She doesn't understand where Broly could have gone. Then Limo says, "Don't worry, Chilai. Perhaps Broly has gone out to find food." Saying this, Limo goes outside to search for Broly. He searches for Broly for a long time, but he doesn't find him anywhere. Then he remembers that perhaps Broly would be near Ba. He immediately goes to Ba, but he doesn't find Broly there either. Then he says to himself, "How can this be? Broly should have been right here." He returns to Chilai feeling disappointed. Chilai asks him, "What happened? Where's Broly? Did you not find him anywhere?" To this, Limo says, "No, Chilai, I didn't find him anywhere. I checked almost every place, but there's no sign of him." Then Chilai says, "How can this be possible? Given Broly's power, according to the scouter, we should have found him by now. But from what you're saying, it seems like Broly is not here. But how is this possible? If he didn't come here, where did he go? I asked Shenron for a wish to send him right here. So did Shenron not fulfill my wish?" To this, Limo says, "Hey Chilai, you didn't tell Shenron to send Broly to planet Vampa. You made a wish that Broly should be sent back to where he came from." At this, Chilai says, "Yes, so I made that wish because we found Broly right here." To this, Limo says, "No, you don't understand. We found Broly here, but Broly is not from here."
Then Chilai says, "What do you mean?" To this, Limo says, "Chilai, Broly is a Saiyan, and all Saiyans came from one place, planet Vegeta." Hearing this, Chilai is shocked and says, "No. Does that mean the dragon sent Broly to planet Vegeta? But how can that be? Planet Vegeta no longer exists. It was destroyed a long time ago." Then Limo says, "Chilai, I'm not talking about the planet Vegeta of now. I am talking about the planet Vegeta of the past." At this, Chilai says, "Impossible. Does that mean Broly has gone to the past?" Then the scene shifts, and we are shown Broly, who is on planet Vegeta. He couldn't understand anything. How did this happen? Just then, we see a Saiyan warrior come in front of Broly, and seeing him, he says, "Hey, who are you, and what are you doing here? You aren't even wearing any Saiyan armor. You are an intruder. Get out of here." To this, Broly says, "I am not an intruder. I am also a Saiyan like you, but I don't know how I got here. What place is this?" Hearing this, that Saiyan warrior becomes quite surprised and says, "Do you think I'm a fool? What are you saying? You are a Saiyan and you don't know about planet Vegeta? You are definitely an intruder. Tell the truth. Who sent you? Otherwise, I will finish you right here." At this, Broly says, "I told you, I am also a Saiyan. I don't know anything more than that." Then that Saiyan warrior says, "It seems you won't understand like this. I'll have to teach you a lesson." And after saying this, he lands a very powerful punch on Broly. But Broly doesn't even move from his spot, and that Saiyan warrior's hand gets severely injured from that punch. Then he says, "This is way too hard. It feels like I struck iron, but this is even stronger than iron. How can this be? His energy didn't even show up on my scouter. Wait a minute, my scouter's battery is discharged."
Just then, we see that several more Saiyans arrive there. They approach him and ask, "What happened? Are you all right?" Then that Saiyan says, "Worry about me later. First, look at this intruder's power." And then all those Saiyans begin to measure Broly's power. But as soon as their scouters start measuring Broly's strength, the scouters of all those Saiyans explode at once. Seeing this, all the Saiyans are shocked and say, What on earth just happened? This guy is far too powerful. But this much power, it's impossible. Then the other Saiyans ask, who exactly is he? All of our scouters exploded at the same time. Then the first Saiyan warrior says, how can this be? How is he this powerful? Listen to me carefully. He is definitely an intruder. He calls himself a Saiyan. Someone must have sent him to take over our planet, but we won't let that happen. Everyone, attack him at once. After this, all the Saiyan warriors launch their attack on Broly together. There is a massive explosion, but as soon as the smoke clears, we see Broly standing right there, and from that explosion, Broly hadn't received even a single scratch. Then Broly says, I don't want to fight, so don't force me to. But then we see that those people do not listen to Broly, and all the Saiyans attack Broly together again. Broly now gets a little angry and starts to power up. He then releases a ki blast at them, and with just that one ki blast, there is a huge explosion. Every single Saiyan is finished in one go, and because of that, every Saiyan on planet Vegeta senses Broly's power. On the other side, we see King Vegeta. He is extremely shocked and says, who could this possibly be? His power is absolutely incredible. Even my scouter exploded. King Vegeta's warriors say, Lord King Vegeta, not just yours, but all of our scouters exploded from that power. Then another Saiyan warrior arrives there and says, my king, I don't know what that was, but the scouters of every Saiyan we had have exploded, and now none of us have any scouters left.
There is more bad news. Someone has killed our soldiers very brutally. At this, King Vegeta says, who is it? Could this be one of Frieza's tricks? The Saiyan replies, I don't know, sire, but our soldiers reported sensing an energy a short distance from here, and they went toward it. However, he killed them all. More than 200 of our soldiers have been killed, including one of our 4th grade commanders. Hearing this, King Vegeta is even more shocked. What? Who possesses such power? He killed 200 of our soldiers at once? Find out who he is. If this is Frieza's doing, we must be ready for an attack. He won't give us much time. I know he wants to eliminate us, but first he wants to instill fear in our hearts. No matter, I know what I must do. Summon General Dor immediately. I want the one who killed my Saiyans at any cost. If it is Frieza, we must prepare for the next war. Then the scene shifts. We are shown General Dor, who is in an unknown location, and someone appears before him. Seeing him, General Dor says, What? Who are you? I've never seen you here before. We see that it is Broly. Broly says to General Dor, I don't know if you will believe me or not, but let me tell you beforehand that I don't want to fight. I don't know how I ended up here. General Dor thinks, looking at his physique, he doesn't seem weak, but based on his words, he seems quite naive. Still, he doesn't look like a Saiyan to me, so what is he doing here? Then General Dor asks him, Hey, tell me, where exactly did you come from? Broly says, Actually, I came from planet Earth. At this, Dor says, Earth. I know that planet, but tell me, who left you here? Broly replies, Actually, I was fighting some Saiyans on Earth, and during that fight, I suddenly arrived here.
I don't know anything more than this. Hearing Broly's words, General Dor becomes extremely surprised and says, What? What kind of nonsense is this? A fight with Saiyans, and that too on planet Earth? As far as I know, there are no Saiyans on planet Earth, nor does any Saiyan think about going to that planet, because the people there are very weak. He thinks, it's possible King Vegeta might have sent a squad of Saiyans to planet Earth. But how is it that I don't know about this? I don't understand anything at all. Then Dor says to Broly, Tell me one thing. Who were you fighting on Earth? Were there a lot of Saiyans? Broly replies, No, there were only 2 Saiyans, and because of their fusion, I lost to them. To this, Dor says, Your words make no sense to me at all. First of all, you have enough power to face them. Then Broly says, I can fight because I am also a Saiyan. Hearing this, Dor is even more shocked and says, What? What nonsense are you talking? Dor says to himself, His words are very strange. I didn't bring my scouter with me today. Otherwise, I would have seen how much power he has, and if he is actually capable of fighting a Saiyan. Dora then tells Broly, "Okay, tell me one thing. First of all, I will not fight you, so you can tell me everything without any worry. So tell me, what is your name?" Broly then speaks, "My name is Broly." Then Dora says, "I have heard this name somewhere, but I can't remember. Anyway, tell me this. Do you know the names of the ones you fought on Earth?" Broly says, "Yes, they were Kakarot and Vegeta." Upon hearing this, General Dora's eyes widen in shock, and then he speaks, "What kind of nonsense is this? You are truly insane. Are you talking about Prince Vegeta? How could you fight him? He is still very young." But wait a second. Did King Vegeta send Prince Vegeta to another planet? Or did Vegeta go to Earth on his own and perhaps fought you there?
But wait, no, hold on. He is talking about Kakarot, who is the son of the second-grade Commander Bardock, but he is still very small. This is truly very strange. Then Broly says, "Will you stop shouting at me? You said you wouldn't fight me." At this, Dor says, "I almost forgot. Anyway, I think I should take him to King Vegeta. He is claiming to be a Saiyan himself. Taking him there will reveal whether this is the truth or a lie." Then Dor says to Broly, "Do one thing. Come with me. I will help you and send you back to where you came from." Broly agrees and leaves with Dor. On the other side, we see King Vegeta, who is quite angry and says, "What happened, you fools? Have you still not given this information to Dor?" Just then, a Saiyan warrior arrives and says, "Forgive me, sire, but we are unable to contact General Dor because he did not take a scouter with him. And what can we even do now? None of us have scouters left either. Every single scouter has blasted." At this, King Vegeta says angrily, "I know it well. This is Frieza's doing. He is playing his dirty games to wipe us all out, but I will not let him succeed, not at any cost." Here, we see that General Dor arrives in the Saiyan village with Broly. There, he sees a squad of Saiyans heading somewhere together. General Dor goes to them and asks, "What happened? Where are you all going together? What's the matter?" Then the commander of that squad says to Dor, "You were here. King Vegeta is looking for you. Go to him immediately." Dor says, "Yes, I'm going there. But where are you all heading together? What is the issue?" The general of that squad, Mardo, says, "Do you not know? Frieza has likely attacked us and killed more than 200 of our soldiers, including one of our 4th-grade commanders. I am going to investigate that. You go to King Vegeta quickly, understood? Now I'm off."
At this, Dor says, "Frieza, I knew it! He is a traitor. I won't let him get away with this." Mardo turns back and asks, "Hey, who is this with you? I've never seen him before." Dor replies, "He is my friend who has come from Earth." Mardo then asks, "When on Earth did you go to Earth, and how did you make friends there?" Dor responds, "It's a long story. I'll tell you some other time. Right now, I'm heading to King Vegeta. You go ahead. Hey, Broly, come with me." And then, Broly and Dor enter King Vegeta's palace. Mardo stands there thinking, that was truly a bit strange. Well, no matter, I have to investigate. Mardo leaves with his army. Dor and Broly stand before King Vegeta. King Vegeta says, "Dor, where on earth were you, and why didn't you keep your scouter with you? How can you be so careless?" Dor replies, "Forgive me, King Vegeta. I wanted to be alone for a while." Just then, King Vegeta's gaze falls upon Broly and he asks, "Who is this with you?" Dor says, "Actually, King Vegeta, this is my friend who has come from Earth. He was quite injured, so I brought him with me to get him treated. The spaceship he used to come meet me is also broken now. I will fix it soon and send him back." King Vegeta then says, "When exactly did you go to Earth? I never sent you there. Are you lying to me? Tell me, who is he really?" Dor thinks for a moment and says to himself, "If I tell them the truth that this is Broly, none of them will believe me, and the story he told me is even more impossible to believe. So I will have to lie." Dor then says, "Actually, King Vegeta, his name is—" At that very moment, a soldier comes before King Vegeta and says, "Sire, we are under attack. Frieza's men have attacked us. They are killing our people." King Vegeta says, "I knew it was Frieza. Everyone, head outside." Then we see all the soldiers come out, and at that same time,
Dor and Broly also come outside. We see Dodoria killing some Saiyans. At this, Dor says, "Stop, or you will regret it." Here we also see Zarbon, who is near Dodoria, and then he says, "Puny Saiyans like you will tell us what to do? You are like insects before us. We can do whatever we want with you." After saying this, we see Dodoria and Zarbon finish off some Saiyans in front of Dor. Seeing this, Dor gets very angry and lands a powerful punch on Dodoria, but it has no effect. Dodoria grabs him and says, "Look at this. Now even these puny Saiyans have gathered the courage to attack us." Then Zarbon says, "I'll put him in his place right now." Zarbon lands a powerful punch on Dor. Dor is thrown quite a distance, and Zarbon immediately goes in front of him and says, "Prepare to face the punishment for the foolishness you have committed, and that punishment is death." After saying this, Zarbon attacks Dor with a ki blast. But then, Broly steps in between and stops their attack. Seeing this, all the Saiyans are shocked and say, "What? He stopped Zarbon's attack, but how?" When King Vegeta sees them, he says, "What on earth is Zarbon and Dodoria doing here? They're killing Dor, but his friend will be killed for nothing." To this, Dodoria says, "How does he have this much power? He stopped your attack." Zarbon also says, "I am also surprised. How did he manage to stop my attack?" Dodoria says, "Let's attack together and crush this insect." Dor tells Broly, "Move away, Broly. You shouldn't be here. These people will kill you." And then Zarbon and Dodoria simultaneously launch a ki blast attack toward Broly. There is a massive explosion. Dodoria starts laughing and says, "Ha! Fools! These people thought they could face us." But then, as the smoke clears, Broly and Dor are perfectly safe. Dor is quite shocked and says, "How did Broly do that?" Zarbon also says, "Who exactly is he? He doesn't seem like a Saiyan to me." At this, Dodoria says, "Enough is enough. I will kill both of them." Saying this, Dodoria rushes towards them at great speed, and just as he is about to land a punch on Broly, Broly catches his hand. Seeing this, Dodoria is completely shocked. At this, Broly says, "I told you, I don't want to fight. You want to kill me and my friend. You people are not good at all." And saying this, Broly rips off one of Dodoria's arms and attacks him with a ki blast. Every trace of Dodoria is erased right then and there, and Broly throws his arm towards Zarbon and says, "This probably belongs to your friend. Take it with you."
Seeing Broly do this, everyone's faces go numb. At this, Zarbon says, "This can't be true. Did he really kill Dodoria? This is no ordinary human, but I won't let him go." And after saying this, Zarbon also launches his most powerful attack at Broly. But Broly stops that too and punches Zarbon so hard that Zarbon falls very far away and gets badly injured. The Saiyan warriors are there, and then one of them says, "After all, who is this who is able to face even Zarbon? And he killed Dodoria." Then the second Saiyan warrior says, "I have heard that he is Dor's friend who has come from Earth." And then that Saiyan warrior says, "Could someone be so powerful on Earth? I never thought of this." Zarbon stands there and says, "You are something else that I probably don't know about, but you also don't know about me, and this is not my full power. But now I show you my real power." And after saying this, Zarbon starts powering up and starts screaming very loudly. A lot of energy starts coming out of him. At this, King Vegeta says, "Stop, is he doing that?" And then we see that suddenly there is a huge explosion there, and after the explosion clears, Zarbon stands in his new form. Seeing him, all the Saiyans get scared and say, "This is Zarbon's most powerful form. No Saiyan has the power to compete with it. Even King Vegeta cannot face this form. We made a big mistake. We shouldn't have let him interfere. Now this Zarbon will kill us all." At this, King Vegeta says, "Unbelievable! Zarbon is using his final form to fight him. After all, who is this Earthling? Right now, I don't even have a scouter to measure his power. At this, Zarbon says, "So now tell me how you like this new form of mine. Your death is standing in front of you." At this, Broly says, "I already said I don't want to fight, but you didn't listen to me. And now, whatever happens, you yourself will be responsible for it." And hearing this, Zarbon starts laughing loudly, his face looking like a monster. At this, Zarbon says, "If your talk is over now, shall we start the fight?" Zarbon rushes towards Broly very fast. No Saiyan's eyes can see Zarbon. He lands a powerful punch on Broly's stomach and then keeps hitting him continuously. Broly just stands there. Nothing happens to him. And seeing this, Zarbon is quite surprised. He steps back a bit and says, "After all, how can this be? Even great warriors kneel before this power of mine, and it's having no effect on you." Then Broly's eyes shine a little, and he says, "Now it's my turn." Broly just lifts his one hand and slaps Zarbon's face, because of which Zarbon hits a mountain far away. And seeing this sight, King Vegeta starts breaking into sweat. He says to himself, "He finished both Dodoria and Zarbon in an instant. If he becomes our enemy, then what will happen to planet Vegeta?" Then General Dor comes there and stands near Broly. Dor says, "Broly, you have saved all our lives. King Vegeta, this is no ordinary Saiyan, and he's not even an Earthling. His power is beyond our imagination." But then, suddenly, the color of the sky starts changing. All the Saiyans start looking upwards, and their fear becomes much worse than before. Frieza's spaceship has come very close to planet Vegeta, and inside the spaceship, Frieza says, "After all, who dared to kill Dodoria and Zarbon?" And this voice is none other than Frieza himself, who is about to enter the field. King Vegeta says while trembling, "Now everything will be finished. Frieza found out, and now he will destroy this planet." Broly looks towards the sky. A slight golden aura starts coming out of his body. He was starting to get angry now, and when Broly gets angry, the whole planet starts shaking. Frieza's spaceship slowly comes down, and its main gate opens. Frieza is sitting on his floating chair, and then he comes out. There was a strange smile on his face, but anger was clearly visible in his eyes. Frieza says, looking at King Vegeta, "King Vegeta, I thought you were loyal to me, but you got my most trusted commanders killed. I didn't like this joke at all." King Vegeta steps back a little in fear and says, "Lord Frieza, I didn't do this. All this was done by this unknown person." King Vegeta points toward Broly. Frieza now gets off his chair and puts his feet on the ground. He looks at Broly and says, "So it's you. You look like an ordinary Saiyan, but you made my commanders bite the dust. Tell me, what is your name, Saiyan?" Broly looks into Frieza's eyes without fear and says, "My name is Broly, and I said I don't like fighting. I didn't want to fight, but your people were killing my friend." Frieza says while laughing a bit, "Oh, friend, since when did Saiyans become friends with each other? Anyway, whatever it is, you have broken the rules made by me, and the punishment for this is only death." Frieza raises his finger and releases a small death beam towards Broly. The speed of the beam is so fast that General Dor doesn't understand anything, and that beam passes by Broly's ear. "Wow, you dodged my attack very easily. I will have a lot of fun in this. Let's increase the power a little more." And saying this, Frieza starts powering up, due to which the entire planet Vegeta starts shaking. King Vegeta and all the others are very scared. Then Frieza calms down and says, "No, I will finish you in this form itself. I don't need to go into the second form. And after this, Frieza keeps attacking Broly with continuous ki blasts. Broly keeps blocking all those attacks very easily. And then suddenly, he creates a big death ball and then throws it towards Broly. A huge explosion happens there. Smoke spreads everywhere. At this, King Vegeta thinks to himself, now he is dead. No one can win against Frieza. But as soon as the smoke clears, everyone's eyes are left wide open. Broly was standing there, and there is not even a single scratch on his body. Broly is now in anger, and then he says in anger, I said I didn't want to fight, but you fools forced me to fight, and now you will definitely get the punishment for it. And saying this, Broly starts powering up. General Dor shouts and says, everyone move back. Broly is losing his temper. Frieza was seen panicking for the first time. He tries to check his scouter, but as soon as he presses the scouter's button, his scouter blasts right there. At this, Frieza says, this is impossible. How can there be so much power in a Saiyan? Frieza was unable to believe his eyes. That pride had now vanished from his face, and Broly's anger was now going out of his control. Green energy from Broly's body lights up the entire area. At this, Frieza says in anger, an ordinary monkey cannot be above me. I am the king of this universe. And after this, Frieza starts raining continuous ki blasts with both his hands. But nothing happens to Broly from those ki blasts. And then Broly comes near Frieza rushing very fast. Frieza gets very scared seeing Broly in front of him and says, what? After all, how can this be? Broly then grabs Frieza's face with his one hand. Frieza starts struggling. After that, Broly slams his head into the ground very hard, because of which a hole is formed in the ground. King Vegeta and General Dor are watching all this from a distance. King Vegeta says while trembling, I have never seen such power in my entire life. Is this it, the legendary Super Saiyan, about whom it is written in our legends? Frieza comes out of that hole in an injured state, and then he says fearfully, I will not leave you alive, Saiyan, and if I die, then this planet will also end with me. And saying this, Frieza goes very high in the air and creates a very big red supernova ball on his finger. This was the same attack that has the power to destroy this entire planet. Frieza then shouts and says, and now, all you monkeys will burn in this fire. Frieza throws that ball of death towards planet Vegeta. All the Saiyans are watching their death, but then Broly lets out a huge roar in anger. A very big green ki energy comes out of his mouth, and it directly hits Frieza's supernova. And for a few seconds there is a collision between the two, but Broly's power is so much that it pierces through Frieza's supernova and hits Frieza directly, and then a huge explosion happens in space. From below, King Vegeta gets very scared seeing such a big explosion above, and after this, Broly slowly becomes calm. His anger was now over. King Vegeta says to all the Saiyans, everyone, come here. This is the warrior who is the one written about in our legends, legendary Super Saiyan, Broly.
Everyone was talking about Broly. When King Vegeta said to Broly, Broly, I will make you the commander of my army. You really are magnificent. Then King Vegeta gave an order to everyone. All of you, go and do your own work. And you, Broly, come with me. Then Broly said, Your Majesty, I want to sit here for a little while longer. On this, King Vegeta said, But Broly, how will you sit here? Come, I have kept a special place for you in my palace. Then we see that Broly starts going with King Vegeta. Just then he looks at General Dor, who was quite injured. On this, King Vegeta said, "Don't worry, Dor will recover very soon." Then King Vegeta ordered, "Hey, all of you, give Dor the best possible treatment so that he recovers as soon as possible. Hurry up." Just then, some Saiyans took General Dor away for treatment. Meanwhile, Broly was sitting on the bed, and he was looking at his hands and saying to himself, "These really are my people, my family. I really am quite special. But my father never let me feel like this. He always used to treat me like an animal. I don't like that. But staying here, I feel like I am the prince of this place. This is quite good." Just then, suddenly something like an earthquake began. Broly got shocked and thought, "What is this? Frieza hasn't come back, has he? But how can that be possible? He should have died from that blast." Then he went outside and looked, and he saw a purple crack in the sky, as if someone was about to come from another dimension. Everyone was quite astonished looking up. What was happening after all? Was that monster Frieza coming back? But how could that be possible? King Vegeta also came out of his palace and looked outside, and he too saw a purple line. He said to himself angrily, "It seems Frieza wasn't dead yet. He has come again. But how?"
Right there, a little away, Bardock was standing. He was quite shocked, and then he said to himself, "This can't be. My dream isn't coming true, is it? This shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be those people. Whatever this is, it is millions of times more powerful than Frieza. And as far as I remember, this is the god of this universe. But why is he coming here? Have we messed something up?" Just then, a voice echoed and was heard. "Such a great tampering with time will not be tolerated." That voice was quite heavy. All the Saiyans were quite astonished hearing it and began to think, who is coming now whose presence we cannot feel? Then we see that there are two figures in the sky. One has a staff in his hand, and this is none other than Lord Beerus the Destroyer and his angel Whis. Then Whis descended and said, "After all, who is it here that has tried to tamper with time?" Then Lord Beerus looked towards Broly and said, "Oh, I have found him." Lord Beerus, pointing towards Broly, said, "Look, there he is. He is the one who committed such insolence." Whis said, You are Broly, aren't you? And you are not of this time, nor should you have been in this time. You came here by mistake." Broly said, "What do you mean I shouldn't be here? I haven't harmed anyone here. In fact, I have saved these people's lives from that monster named Frieza. And anyway, how did I even come here? I don't know anything. I just suddenly ended up here." On this, Whis said, "That is exactly your mistake, Broly. We think we haven't done anything, but your being here itself is not right for you. And because of your being here, the whole universe's balance is disturbing, because what was supposed to happen, you have averted it, and this time has completely changed, so we will have to fix it."
Meanwhile, King Vegeta and Bardock were quite frightened. Those people felt that whatever this was, it was quite powerful, and whatever this was, it was not a warrior. Then we see that Bardock goes to King Vegeta and says, "My lord, whatever these two are, of all the powerful warriors I have fought until now, I know the power of all of them, but whatever this is, I cannot feel their power. And I have seen them even in my dreams. These are not warriors, but gods." King Vegeta got shocked. "What? Gods? And on our planet too? What are you saying, Bardock? Really? Then we must tell this to Broly, otherwise something could go wrong." Lord Beerus said angrily, "Do you not know, foolish saying, what the consequences of tampering with time can be? I feel like destroying you right here, right now." On this, Whis said, "Please calm down a little, Lord Beerus. Calm down a little. I know you are angry, but haste is not good. If you erased him here, right now, the timeline could get even more disturbed. To correct one mistake, making another bigger mistake is not wisdom.
Beerus was quite angry and then said, "Don't teach me the rules, Whis. I have been doing this work for millions of years. I only know this much, that when time begins to walk on its wrong path, to stop it, to erase it, that is my duty. And how much sorrow anyone feels in doing all this makes no difference to me at all. Understand?" Then we see that Broly looks towards Lord Beerus. Lord Beerus is angry, and then he looks at Broly with angry eyes. Broly gets slightly shocked. He felt that whatever this was, it was much more powerful. Then Broly clenched his fist and said, "Hey, who are you after all? And why do you want to erase me? I haven't ruined anything of anyone's. I only want to stay with my people." Hearing this, Beerus got quite angry and said, "Watch your tongue, Saiyan. You don't know who you are talking to. I am the god of destruction of this universe, Beerus. With one small yawn of mine, the stars of the sky go out. With one gesture of my finger, entire planets turn to dust. And you, an ordinary Saiyan, standing before me, questioning me?" He takes one step forward. "Because of one mistake of yours, the past and future are dissolving into each other. Do you understand what that means? In this timeline, a time was supposed to come when Frieza would be alive. If he died here at this wrong time, then the entire coming time would be uprooted from its foundation. What was supposed to happen won't happen. What was not supposed to happen will happen, and the balance of the whole universe will be disturbed." Broly, just hearing the name of Frieza, got quite angry and said, "What? Frieza? But he killed my father. And anyway, who knows how many Saiyans he killed without reason? He was afraid that only a Super Saiyan would finish him. But I am the one who finished him, and I did absolutely right. This is exactly what should happen to Frieza. He deserved it." On this, Beerus said, "It is this kind of thinking of yours, people, that ruins this universe's timeline. You people only see your own sorrows, but the universe is far greater than your sorrow. Some deaths are necessary, and some destruction too. Frieza's staying alive is necessary, however bad he may be. At this time, his existence is more important than your very existence, because on his death or life depends the fate of millions of people yet to come, and you cannot change it just like that." Just then, on this, Whis said, "You will have to go back to your timeline, Broly." Whis taps his staff on the ground. A ring forms around Broly. Just then, Broly angrily starts throwing his punches at that ring, but it is of no use. Just then, Whis said, "There is no use of this, Broly. This barrier is not an ordinary barrier. No matter how much you exert force, it will be of no use. It is all useless. Your power cannot break it before it. It is very necessary to send you to your timeline. Fixing this timeline is our duty." Broly then said angrily, "I don't know how I even came here, but I haven't done anything wrong. I just want to go to my people who are my own." Just then, King Vegeta comes there and says, "Stop, you cannot take him. He is our most powerful warrior. I have seen his power with my own eyes. With one roar of his, mountains shake. With his help, we can rule over the whole universe. Frieza, whose name we tremble at today, even he would have to kneel before him. By taking him away, you are snatching our greatest treasure." Beerus then looks at King Vegeta with slightly calm eyes and says, "Stay within your limits, ordinary Saiyan. King, I see kings like you in every timeline, plenty of arrogant, greedy, and blind ones. And in every timeline, you meet the same fate. You are forgotten. Death was written in your fate, King Vegeta, at the hands of Frieza, in this very palace, very soon. But this boy, by coming here unknowingly, saved you from that death for a little while." King Vegeta is left quite shocked and says, "What? What are you saying, Beerus?" Beerus continues, "You think you have won your fate, that now you are saved? No, you have won nothing. You have only postponed your death a little. When this boy goes back to his time, everything will become just as it should be. Your fate will return to its place. The laws of nature cannot be changed, King, neither by your arrogance nor by anyone's power." After hearing all this, King Vegeta becomes completely silent. He is quite frightened because the same time is about to come again. Frieza destroys planet Vegeta and leaves from there. Meanwhile, Broly's gaze falls on Bardock. He looked exactly like Goku. Broly realizes that that Saiyan is Goku's father. Then, becoming calm, Broly asks Whis, "Hey Whis, will I really be able to go back? Chilai and Lemo are waiting for me. They don't know anyone besides me. My whole world is just those two people. If I don't come back, if I stay trapped here, then those two will be left alone. On that desolate planet, completely alone. I cannot do that to them." On this, Whis slightly smiles and says, "Yes, Broly, you will go back. I promise you, but on one condition. We will have to fix this timeline completely. Frieza will have to stay alive, exactly as he was, just as he was supposed to be. Not a single straw should be here and there. Everything must go back to its place. Otherwise, your going back will also be useless." On this, Bardock says angrily, "No, do you even know what you are saying? If Frieza stays alive, then he will completely erase our planet. The entire Saiyan race will be wiped out. I have seen the coming sight with my own eyes. Burning ground, a torn sky, my people screaming, dying Saiyans. I have seen all that. And now, you standing before me say that all this should happen? That I should stand quietly while my entire race turns to ash? I will never let this happen. Never." Beerus then looks at Bardock and says, "Do you really think that by your saying so, this decision will change? Never, Saiyan. Your fate has already been written. Understand, Bardock? You will burn in that fire. Your whole planet will turn to ash, and your name will be erased with time. And this is your fate. And as long as I'm here, you cannot mess with this timeline. Understand?"
On this, Bardock says, "Fine then. Anyway, I have to die, so I would prefer to die fighting, because I am a Saiyan, and I cannot sit with my hands folded like cowards." Bardock, rushing very fast, moves forward to attack Lord Beerus. He knew that he could not do this. He keeps punching Beerus continuously. Beerus does not even move from his place. Then Beerus attacks Bardock with one of his fingers. He falls far away. On this, Beerus says, "See, this is your real power. You cannot save yourself. You cannot change your fate, Saiyan. Death has already been written in your fate. Nothing will change by your anger, by your pride, Saiyan. Your death is certain." Meanwhile, blood begins to come from Bardock's mouth. He had become quite injured. He tries to stand up, but cannot. Broly, looking at Bardock, says, "Don't do anything to that Saiyan. He hasn't done anything wrong. He only wants to save his people, just as I want to save my people. What kind of rule is this, where a father cannot save his children? How can I let this happen?" Whis then looks at Broly and says, "This is the real burden of a god of destruction. People think that he only brings destruction, that he is evil, but the truth is, he does not see right and wrong. He does not see love and hate. He only sees balance. And to maintain balance, sometimes even good people have to be killed. This is the greatest sorrow of this power. After this, Broly then becomes calm. He was understanding that not all battles can be won with power. Broly was powerful, but he had come to know that all this was useless. Whis then spins his staff, and then the light of the barrier becomes even brighter. Then Whis says, "So now get ready, Broly. Now I am sending you to your time. Your memories will be erased from this past. You won't remember that you ever came here. You won't remember that you met your people, your king, this warrior like your father. Everything will be forgotten."
Broly, pausing for a while, looks at Bardock. Whis says, "I don't want you to carry this pain with you." Bardock was injured. He was looking at Broly. He was being sent back to his timeline. The light becomes even brighter, and then Broly disappears from there. The scene shifts. Limo and Chilai were still searching for Broly, but Broly was nowhere to be found. Limo consoles Chilai. "Don't worry, wherever Broly is, he will be fine. He's a very powerful Saiyan." Just then, suddenly, a bright light begins to come from the sky. Someone falls from above. There, everything becomes full of dust. These two are left astonished. What is this after all? And as the dust clears, we see that Broly had come back there. Chilai quickly goes to Broly and says, "Broly, where did you go after all? I thought you had gone somewhere. Where did you go, Broly?" On this, Broly says, "I don't remember anything. Maybe I had fallen asleep. I had a strange dream." Limo comes to Broly and says, "What kind of dream, Broly? It seems to me that you are coming from somewhere." Broly doesn't say anything. He begins to look towards the sky, and then he says, "I don't remember it properly, but there were many people in it, people like me, many Saiyans, and there was a king with arrogant eyes, and there was someone, I don't remember properly, but he was very powerful. Seeing him, all the Saiyans were quite afraid." Chilai then says, "Dreams are just dreams, Broly. They come and then they go. Sometimes they seem so real that the heart aches, but they are not true. Leave all this. Now you are before us, with us, that is all that matters. Come, let's eat food. You must be very hungry. You haven't eaten anything since morning. I have saved something for you."
Broly smiles slightly. He gets up, but one last time he turns and looks towards the sky. Something heavy is felt inside him, as if he had left someone behind. Someone very important. Someone who had fought for him. Someone who had shed blood for him. But no matter how hard he tries, he cannot remember who that was. Just an empty space was left in his heart, which he could not fill. Then he takes a deep breath and, leaving that emptiness behind, walks off with Chilai and Limo. Some things, perhaps, are better forgotten. But far away, in a quiet corner of space, Whis and Lord Beerus are watching all this. Whis watches Broly walking in a glowing image formed at the tip of his staff. That young man who was now smiling with his friends, unaware of all the pain he had endured a few moments ago. Whis slowly says, "So everything is fine now, Lord Beerus. The timeline has returned to its true flow again. Frieza is alive as he should be. Bardock is on his path towards his fate, and Broly has returned to his time, to his people. The balance of the universe is restored. Not a single straw has moved from its place." Lord Beerus takes a long yawn and, rubbing his eyes, says, For such a small matter you woke me from my good sleep? An ordinary boy, an ordinary timeline? Next time, are you listening, Whis? Next time, if anyone tampers with time in this way, I will neither explain to him, nor bind him in a ring, nor send him back. I will erase him straight away, without thinking for a moment. Come now, I am feeling sleepy again. And yes, on the way back, do feed me that new sweet you mentioned. It's been too long since I tasted it." Whis, smiling and bowing his head, says, "As you say, Lord Beerus, you will get the sweet and rest too." And then both disappear in a glowing light. Left behind is just quiet space, ticking stars, and a universe that once again begins to flow in its old, straight course, as if nothing ever happened here, as if a young Saiyan never went into his lost past, as if a father never shed blood for his unknown son. Time moves ahead, and some stories, which never even happened, are lost forever in the darkness of this universe.
Everything had gone quiet on planet Wampa, but Broly's mind was still restless. He kept looking at his hands again and again, as if he could feel that these very hands had just finished off some very great enemy. There was still a strange burning in his palms, as if he had come back from a battle that never even happened. Chilai comes over to him, sits down and says, "Broly, you've been sitting like this since morning. What's the matter? Are you hiding something from me?" Broly says softly, "I don't know, Chilai. I feel like I've forgotten something very important, as if someone is calling out to me, but I can't recognize their voice." Lemmo says from nearby, "Dreams come and go, Broly. Don't think about it so much. We are safe here, and that's the most important thing of all." Just then, thunder roars in the sky once again. Chilai and Lemmo look up in fear. A small, round space pod falls rapidly to the ground, and there is a huge explosion. Dust and smoke rise up all around. Lemmo, drawing his gun, says, "Now who is this? Have Frieza's men come again? Broly, get back. I'll take a look." Broly stands up and steps in front of Lemmo. He says, "No, you two stay back. If this is an enemy, I'll handle it." The pod's door opens, and a wounded Saiyan comes out of it. His clothes were torn, and on his body was the same old Saiyan armor that Broly had seen in his dream. The moment he sees him, a strange stir begins in Broly's heart. That Saiyan staggers over to Broly and falls. Broly catches him. That Saiyan speaks slowly. "Broly, you have to remember everything. Whis erased everyone's memories, but I escaped through that crack in time. I don't have much time." Chilai asks in astonishment, "Who are you, and how do you know Broly's name? We don't know anyone here." That Saiyan lifts his head. In his eyes was the same fierceness that Broly had seen in someone else. He was none other than Bardock. Panting, Bardock says, "I am a friend of your father, Broly. Once we set foot together on the same planet. Whis reset the timeline, but he made one mistake." Broly steadies him, sits him down on the ground, and says, "A mistake? What kind of mistake? And how did you get out of that crack? Whis had said it would be closed." Taking a breath, Bardock says, "When Whis sent you back, for one moment that crack in time stayed open. I seized that very chance. I put my whole life into getting out of that crack. I don't know how I survived, perhaps because I had to tell you this." Broly says, "But Whis had set everything right. Frieza is alive, the timeline is restored, so what mistake happened?" Bardock says, "When he brought Frieza back to life, he forgot to handle one thing. Frieza remembered everything, every timeline, every death, every defeat. He remembers how you killed him. He remembers how he lost. And when a defeated enemy remembers his defeat, he becomes far more dangerous than before. He has turned that memory into his strength. He has now become even more powerful. He has pushed his power to a new limit, a form that no one has ever seen before. He is now in the form of Black Frieza, wiping out every timeline one by one. Whoever comes in his path, he erases their very existence, no trace, no memory." Broly's eyes begin to turn yellow. All the old memories come rushing back into his mind in a single jolt. King Vegeta's arrogance, that field of planet Vegeta, Beerus's roar, and that terrible battle. He grabs his head and says, I'm remembering everything. That king, that palace, and you were there. Bardock nods and says, yes, I was there. And now I am here because only you can stop him. Frieza has defeated Goku and Vegeta. Those two couldn't stand before him. I saw it with my own eyes. Both of them poured in all their strength, every form, every strike, but Frieza was stopping their every blow as if it were some game. And when those two strongest warriors lost, Frieza began searching for every Saiyan who could be a threat to him. You are at the top of his list, Broly. He considers you the greatest threat because only you ever truly showed him fear. He must be on his way here. Broly clenches his fist and says, if Goku and Vegeta lost, then there's no one left to stop Frieza. That is exactly why I am here. You are the last hope. But be careful, this is not the Frieza you fought before. He has learned from his every mistake. Panicking, Limo says, Goku and Vegeta lost? Then how can we? We are ordinary people. Broly, we should run away from here. Running is useless. Frieza can reach everywhere. There's no place left to hide. Either we stand and fight, or we are wiped out. Just then, all of planet Wampa begins to tremble. The color of the sky turns black, as if it had suddenly become night in the middle of the day. A very large and black energy falls down from above, and under its pressure, the ground begins to sink. Frightened, Chilai holds Bardock and says, what is this? Such a terrible power. I can't even breathe. From within the smoke comes a voice, cold and calm, yet with a hatred in it that could tear the heart apart. So my old friend has found me after all. I thought you would have hidden somewhere far away, but you have come out in front of me yourself.
The smoke clears, and Black Frieza stands before them. Seeing his new form, Limo lets out a scream. Frieza looks at his hand, then, smiling toward Broly, says, Broly, that day you beat me very badly. In my whole life, I had never felt pain like that, and I did not forget that pain. I learned from it. This time, I will not kill you in a single blow. This time, I will kill you slowly, making you suffer. And this time, no god of destruction will come to save you. Your fate lies only in my fist. Swaying, Bardock tries to stand and says, Frieza, you will never change. Your hunger will never be satisfied. Without looking at him, Frieza says, worms like you are not even worthy of my words, Bardock. You are just one more name on my list. Broly gently slides Bardock over toward Chilai and says, Chilai, take Limo and go as far away as you can. Take care of Bardock. This battle is mine alone. Chilai holds his hand and says, Broly, no, we won't leave you alone. Broly looks at her, and for the first time, a softness comes into his voice. You two are my own people. If something happens to you, I will never forgive myself. Trust me. Go. With tears in her eyes, Chilai steps back, taking Limo and Bardock with her. Broly slowly rises to his feet. His anger was now spiraling out of control. The ground all around him begins to melt, and the stones melt and turn into lava. Broly says, Frieza, you touched my friends, you wiped out my race, and now you've come to snatch away this home of mine too? This time, I won't even leave you in the dust. I will erase your name from this universe. Laughing, Frieza says, the same old anger, the same old roar. You never changed, Broly, and that is your greatest weakness. Goku and Vegeta tried to fight with their minds, and still they lost. All you have is anger. Let's see how long this anger keeps you alive.
Broly says, "You people always make the same mistake. You think anger is weakness, but this anger is for all those whom you wiped out, for my father, for my race, and today this anger will be your death." Spreading both his hands, Frieza says, "Come then, show me that power I have been waiting for all these years. Don't disappoint me, Broly. If you too fall quickly like those two, then this journey of mine won't be any fun." Bardock shouts from afar, "Broly, control your anger. This is exactly what he wants, for you to lose control over yourself. Keep your power under your control." Broly lets out a mighty roar that echoes across the whole planet. His body begins to swell, his hair begins to sway in the wind, and a green light bursts out of his body. His legendary Super Saiyan form looked far bigger and more terrifying than before. His eyes turn white, and the ground breaks apart beneath his feet. Bardock's words reach his ears, and this time, Broly's anger was not blind. There was a steadiness in it, a purpose. Broly says softly, "This time, I will not chase after my anger, Frieza. This time, I will use it." Frieza's smile vanishes for a moment. He says slowly, "Ah, this is the power I was searching for. Goku and Vegeta did not have that thing which you have. Perhaps today's battle will truly be one worth remembering." The two of them lunge at each other. Their collision causes an explosion, as if two stars had crashed into each other. The air stops for a moment, then a shock wave spreads all around that uproots every single thing nearby. All of planet Wampa reaches the verge of splitting apart from its roots. The ground appears to divide into two halves, and the sky turns red-green from the light of the energy. Chilai watches Broly from afar and says softly, "Come back, Broly. We will wait for you." Standing far away, Bardock falls to his knees and watches, saying in a low voice, "Now everything rests on this one battle. Handle it, Broly. This time, losing means the end not just of one planet, but of every timeline."
From the collision between Black Frieza and Broly, lightning begins to crack across all of planet Wampa. When their fists clash against each other, the shockwave scatters the surrounding mountains apart like sand. Dust and pieces of stone fly through the air as if a storm had come. Laughing, Frieza says, "What happened, Broly? Is this all the strength you have? My black form is many times more powerful than you can imagine." Grinding his teeth, Broly says, "You've become stronger than before. How is this possible? I ground you in the dirt in that other place." Frieza steps back for a moment. He wanted to break Broly, first with the mind, then with the body. A strange glint comes into his eyes. He says, "Ah, so you've remembered that. Good. Then listen, because this story is only for you. You think I'm the same old Frieza whom you defeated in that other timeline? No, that Frieza died the day you brought him to his knees." Broly's breath stops for a moment. He says, "Then who are you?" Frieza slowly looks at his hand and says, "I am the one who was born from that defeat. That day, when your final beam tore through me, for the first time in my life, I felt that thing which you people call fear. I, the one who had kept the whole universe under my feet, had broken before a Saiyan. I never forgot that feeling, and it was that very feeling which made me into this." Frieza takes a step toward Broly and says, "Then that blue man, Whis, brought me back to life in this timeline.
He thought I would remain the same old arrogant Frieza who would pounce straight at you and then be wiped out. But this time, I did something I had never done in my entire life. I showed patience."
Broly was silent. He couldn't understand why Frieza was telling him all this. Smiling, Frieza continues, "Instead of running after revenge, I chose to disappear. I searched out a corner of this universe where time flows differently, a closed, deserted place where there was no light, no sound, no enemy. And there I sat alone, without moving, without eating, without sleeping, only remembering that defeat of mine again and again." Broly says slowly, "You just sat there for all those years?" Frieza's eyes light up. He says, "Do you know how many years I stayed there? So many years that I stopped counting them. You Saiyans batter your bodies, you fight, you break, and you call that becoming strong. I did not choose that path. I did not train my body, I trained my mind, because true strength lies not in the fist, but in patience. Every moment I spent in that darkness, my hatred kept molding into a new power. And when I came out from there, I was no longer the old Frieza. I had become Black Frieza, a form that is above even those gods of yours, whom you call God of Destruction." Broly says, "But how can someone become so powerful just by sitting? That isn't even possible." Laughing coldly, Frieza says, "That is exactly what you Saiyans will never understand. You think strength comes only from sweat and blood, but the most dangerous strength is the one that grows quietly, without moving, without shouting. In that deserted place, I lived my defeat every single moment. Each time I remembered that pain, my strength grew a little more. I made my very weakness into my weapon. The wound you gave me, I nurtured that wound so much that it became a monster. And now that same monster stands before you." For the first time, a seriousness comes onto Broly's face. He says, "So you spent your whole life just to take revenge on me?" Frieza says, "No, Broly. I spent my whole life to erase the feeling you gave me. As long as you are alive, that fear will live on in my breath. That is why I will not merely kill you. I will break you so badly that in every timeline of this universe, your name will be remembered along with my victory. Today, I will return that feeling to you 100 times over." Frieza swiftly drives a knee into Broly's stomach and then delivers a terrible tail whip across his face. Broly falls far away into a deep ravine. Chilai screams, "Broly!" But just then, a flood of green light bursts out from within the ravine. Broly comes out, his eyes now completely white, and he had entered his full-power legendary Super Saiyan form. He says, "You became strong from your hatred, Frieza, but I am fighting for my people. Let's see which of these two wins." Without stopping, Broly falls upon Frieza. He grabs Frieza and begins dragging him across the ground from one mountain to another, and then hurls him into the air and fires hundreds of eraser cannons one after another. The sky fills with orbs of green light, and each orb bursts upon Frieza. The blasts were so intense that Planet Wampa's ground sinks in many places. Watching this from afar, Bardock says softly, "Such power. He keeps breaking through his every limit, but don't underestimate Frieza so easily. Frieza comes out of the smoke looking a little wounded. For the first time, his smile fades. He looks at his torn shoulder and says angrily, "Lost your patience this quickly? You are still that same anger-blinded Saiyan. Enough of this. Now I will show you real death." Frieza raises both his hands upward and forms a colossal black death ball. That ball was so large that it covered half the sky. Seeing it, Lemo's breath catches. Frieza says, "This time, neither Whis will be saved, nor this planet of yours, nor these dear friends of yours. I will wipe out everything, all at once."
Bardock staggers to his feet and shouts to Broly, "Broly, you have to stop this attack, or everything will be finished. Focus all your strength in one single place. Don't let it scatter." Broly hears Bardock's words and takes a deep breath. He pulls both his hands back. A whirlwind of green energy forms all around him that begins to pull the whole planet's air toward it. Putting in all his strength, Broly roars and unleashes a truly colossal, gigantic breath. The two attacks collide midway. The whole universe begins to tremble. On one side was Frieza's black energy, and on the other side, Broly's green power. An even clash goes on between the two, and between the two energies, a wall of light formed that kept moving back and forth every moment. The ground was slipping away from beneath their feet, and the surrounding mountains were turning to sand and flying into the air. Putting in all his strength, Frieza says, "You will never win. I have given my entire life for this very moment. My years of penance cannot lose before a single battle of yours." Broly's feet slowly begin to sink backward. His beam was weakening. Chilai shouts from afar, "Broly, don't lose. We are right here, with you." But just then, Broly remembers how Frieza had killed his father and how he has again and again brought pain to his friends, to his race. He looks for a moment toward Chilai and Lemo, those very two people who were everything to him. Broly's anger crosses a new limit. He says slowly, "You gave your life for hatred. I spent my life just staying alive. But today, for the first time, I am fighting for someone, and that very difference will drag you down." His body grows even bigger, and his beam moves forward, tearing through Frieza's attack. Roar!
Broly's beam rips through Frieza's death ball and slams straight into Frieza himself. Frieza lets out a scream. "No! This is impossible! For all those years, I cannot lose like this!" A huge explosion happens that shakes the whole planet. When the smoke clears, Frieza is not there. He had been flung far away into space by that attack in a half-dead state. Silence falls over planet Wampa. Broly slowly returns to his normal form and falls to his knees on the ground. He was very tired. His breathing was rapid. Bardock comes over to him and, placing a hand on his shoulder, says, "You did it, Broly. You defeated that monster. Your father would have been proud of you. To this day, I have never seen anyone fight against so much hatred with so much love." Chilai and Lemo also come running and embrace Broly. Chilai says, "I told you, didn't I, that you would come back? I had faith in you." Wiping his eyes, Lemo says, "You scared us, friend. Don't do that again." With a faint smile, Broly says, "I'm not going anywhere without you two." But looking toward the sky, Bardock says, "But remember, Frieza is not dead. An enemy like this does not die so easily. He will come back, and next time more prepared than before. He would not have thrown away years of penance in a single defeat. he will rise again. We too will have to be ready, and now we will have to find Goku and Vegeta. If they are still alive somewhere, then only they can help us." Broly looks toward the sky, and for the first time a faint hope appears in his eyes. He says, "Then we will find them. This time I will not fight alone. This time we will all face Frieza together." Nodding, Bardock says, "Until then, rest. The real battle has only just begun. Frieza has seen only one defeat today, and you know what a single defeat can turn him into." Broly runs his gaze over the broken ground of planet Wampa and says, "Then this time I won't wait for him to come. This time we will find him before he becomes that strong again." The story had now turned a new turning point.
Broly slowly stands up, his face showing more concern than exhaustion. He asks Bardock, where are Goku and Vegeta? If they lost to Frieza, what condition are they in right now? Are they even still alive? Bardock gestures toward the sky and replies, "They are alive, but barely. Both of them are on Beerus's planet. Whis is trying to help them recover, but Black Frieza's strike was so devastating that it will take time for their strength to return. And time is the one thing we lack. We need to get there immediately." Suddenly, Chilai cuts in, her voice trembling with anxiety. "But how are we going to get there? Our spaceship is already wrecked, and that planet is so far away it would take months to reach. By then, who knows what Frieza will do?" Limo nods in agreement, saying, "Chilai is right. We're stranded here. We can't move a single step without a ship." A faint smirk appears on Bardock. "Who said we need a ship? I have an old technique I learned years ago on an unknown planet, the dimensional rift. It tears through the distance between two spaces. However, to activate it, I need more energy than my own power can provide. Broly, I'll need some of your energy." Without a second thought, Broly extends his hand. "Take as much as you need. If this opens a path to Frieza's destruction, I will give you all my strength." Bardock grabs his hand. Broly's green energy slowly begins to flow into Bardock's body, causing his entire form to glow brilliantly with power. Swiftly, Bardock swings his hands through the air. The air rips open with a massive explosion, and a shimmering portal opens before them, swirling with thousands of colors. "Move before the portal closes. It won't hold for long." The four of them leap into the portal. For a moment, it feels as though their bodies are scattering into the void, but in the next instant, they materialize on a planet with golden soil and a perpetual pink sky, Lord Beerus's planet. Chilai falls to her knees, panting, This place, I've never seen anything like it." Upon arriving, they see Goku and Vegeta lying on the ground, their clothes shredded and their bodies covered in deep wounds. Whis is enveloping them in his healing light. Lord Beerus is sitting under a nearby tree, eating, but seeing them arrive, he throws away his food scraps, visibly surprised. Beerus scoffs. So you lots managed to follow me here too? Can't even let me enjoy my meal in peace? And Bardock, you cheated death and managed to force your way back into the timeline after all. You Saiyans simply don't know how to die." Bardock bows to him and says, "If I had died, there would be no one left to warn you about how powerful Black Frieza has become. My death can wait. Right now, saving the universe comes first." Goku slowly opens his eyes. With blurred vision, he looks at Broly. Then his gaze locks onto Bardock. He speaks in a faint voice. "Broly, you? How are you here? And who is this man who looks just like me? His face is identical to mine." Bardock looks at his son, Goku, up close for the first time. For a moment, tears well up in the hardened warrior's eyes. He says softly, "Kakarot, I am your father, Bardock.
Before planet Vegeta was destroyed, I sent you off into the cosmos so that you might live. I thought I would never see you again. Today, after all these years, I am looking at you with my own eyes, and you have become a warrior beyond anything I could have ever imagined." Goku smiles faintly. "I never knew anything about my father. I always thought I came into this world completely alone. Knowing this feels strange, but good." Bardock places a hand on his shoulder and says, "We will talk later, son. A massive battle awaits us now. But know this, the one I sent away was a mere child. The one I stand before today is the hope of this universe."
Both Goku and Vegeta gasp in shock. Vegeta, trembling with rage and confusion, tries to force himself to stand. He yells, "What kind of nonsense is this? Bardock perished along with planet Vegeta. My father told me about his death himself. How can the ghost of a dead man be standing here?" Bardock looks at Vegeta calmly. "I am no ghost, Prince Vegeta. The flow of time has shifted, and if you refuse to believe me, this altered current will swallow all of you whole." Bardock explains the entire sequence of events to everyone, how Broly accidentally ended up in the past, how he inadvertently altered the timeline, how Whis kept Frieza alive to correct it, and how that very same Frieza has now become the ultimate threat as Black Frieza. With every word, the gravity on Goku and Vegeta's faces deepens. Goku clenches his fist. "So that means the Frieza who defeated us could have been even more dangerous in reality. I have never felt a power like this in my entire life." Whis strikes his staff against the ground, sending a resonant echo through the area. He speaks with absolute gravity. "Time for talk is over. Frieza has just launched an attack on a new sector of Universe 7, and he hasn't come just for destruction. He is searching for the ancient Dragon Balls. These are primordial Dragon Balls, far more powerful than the standard ones. If he finds them and makes a wish, he won't just erase a planet, he will wipe out the entire multiverse in an instant." A stunned silence falls over everyone. Chilai asks in a hushed whisper, "The entire multiverse? Meaning every world, every timeline?" Whis nods grimly. "Yes, and after that moment, there will be no one left to save and no one left to be saved." Broly looks at Vegeta and Goku. The two men who until now looked like bitter rivals now stood before the exact same threat. Broly says, "I tried to fight Frieza alone. I managed to throw him, but he kept coming back. I understand now. No single person can defeat him. We must fight together."
True to his nature, Vegeta scoffs and turns his head away in anger. After a few moments of silence, he mutters, "A Saiyan prince does not relish fighting alongside anyone. But fine. This time I won't hold back. If Frieza truly has become this powerful, we will have to push far beyond fusion. Otherwise, we will simply be his next victims." Whis smiles softly. "Not fusion. This time, that won't be enough. This time, I am going to put the three of you through a training regimen that no mortal has ever received, a path only gods have walked. I call it the Triforce of Saiyans. 3 Saiyans, 3 distinct powers, 1 single goal. If the three of you can master this, then perhaps, just perhaps, you might stand a chance against Black Frieza." Vegeta glares at him suspiciously. "What exactly is this Triforce? Speak plainly, Whis. I don't care to fight in the dark." Whis explains. "In fusion, 2 warriors merge into one, losing their individual identities. The Triforce is the exact opposite. You 3 remain separate, but your powers become intertwined,
like 3 silk strands of a single thread. Goku's unyielding drive to fight, Vegeta's pride and sheer stubbornness, and Broly's immense, boundless power. All 3 will flow as one. When one falters, the others will become his strength. But for this to work, you must trust each other completely, and I know that will be the hardest part for the 3 of you. A spark ignites in Goku's eyes. Despite his heavy injuries, he grins. A new kind of training, one meant only for gods? I'm already getting excited. Vegeta glances at him. You think about nothing but fighting, Kakarot. But mark my words, Whis, I will trust this stray monkey only because the universe is at stake. Otherwise, never. Broly says quietly, I don't know how to trust anyone either. I've always fought alone, but if fighting together can stop this threat, I am ready to learn.
Lord Beerus stands up, dusting off his hands. Keep in mind, this training will not be easy. It could very well kill you. I have never seen a mortal walk this path and make it back alive, but if you don't want to die at the hands of Black Frieza, this is your only option. The choice is yours. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly look at one another. The fire in their eyes burned for different reasons, but their destination was the same. Goku says, "Then what are we waiting for? Let's get started." But suddenly, a terrifying, chilling laughter echoes from deep space, so cold that the very air on the planet seems to freeze. A dark shadow begins to spread across the golden soil. Whis raises his eyes toward the heavens, his face turning dead serious for the first time. Amidst the laughter, Frieza's voice rings out. Gathered all in one place? How convenient. I was wondering if I'd have to hunt you down one by one, but you've gone and made my job so much easier. Beerus clenches his fist and mutters, Whis, it seems we aren't going to get the time we needed for training. Whis nods slowly. Yes, Lord Beerus, Frieza is already upon us, and this time he has found us. There is nowhere left to run. For the first time, a note of genuine anxiety crept into his voice, something no one had ever heard before. The war they were preparing for was now standing right at their doorstep. Whis leads the 3 of them to a vast open plain where golden soil stretches as far as the eye can see. Beerus sits on a nearby rock, watching them closely, and for the first time, a look of profound anxiety is clearly visible on his face. He mutters quietly to himself, if even these 3 cannot stop Frieza, then perhaps I will have to decide the fate of this universe myself. Standing before the trio, Whis says, listen and listen carefully. Black Frieza's power has already transcended your Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. What took you years of battle to achieve, he surpassed simply by training alone in a desolate room. Therefore, you 3 can no longer fight as individuals. You must intertwine your energies. Only then will you stand a chance of remaining upright before him. Vegeta snaps in anger, his voice carrying that familiar, unyielding pride. Whis, are you mocking me? I am the prince of all Saiyans. I will never fight alongside the likes of Broly and Kakarot. My strength depends on no one. I will face Frieza alone. Goku looks at him and interjects, Vegeta, we all know how strong you are, but both of us saw him with our own eyes. He is on an entirely different level. If we go at it alone, we will die. Vegeta turns his head away. Save your lectures, Kakarot. Just then, Bardock steps forward, looking straight into Vegeta's eyes. His voice is calm, yet it carries immense weight. He says, Prince Vegeta, I have watched planet Vegeta burn with my own eyes. I have seen how pride can reduce an entire race to ashes. Today, your pride could wipe out planet Vegeta all over again. Only this time, there will be no surviving Saiyans left. Is that truly what you want?
Hearing Bardock's words, the fury on Vegeta's face slowly subsides. He remains silent for a few moments, then clenches his fist tightly and mutters, "No, I will not watch my race perish a second time. Fine, I will try this once, but only this once." Whis smiles and twirls his staff through the air. Instantly, a glowing triangle of light, a Triforce, forms around the three of them. Whis commands, "Now, focus all your energy into a single point. Do not lose your concentration for even a fraction of a second." Goku activates his Ultra Instinct, his entire body radiating a brilliant silver light. Vegeta transforms into his Ultra Ego, enveloped in a swirling shroud of deep purple energy, and Broly releases the green energy of his full-power legendary form, painting the entire plane in a vibrant emerald hue. As their energies converge in the center, the entire planet begins to shitter, and the soil rises into the air. However, things begin to fracture almost immediately. Their powers clash violently against one another, like three distinct tempests colliding in the same space. Vegeta roars, "Kakarot, pull your energy back! It's pushing against my power! Do you even know what you're doing?" Focusing intently, Goku responds, "I'm trying, Vegeta, but Broly's energy is just too massive. It refuses to acknowledge any limits." Broly places both hands on his head, his voice strained with pain. I can't contain it. It keeps expanding on its own. The more I try to suppress it, the more it forces its way out." Suddenly, their combined energy shatters, and the resulting shockwave blasts the three of them backward in different directions. Watching from afar, Beerus shakes his head. Binding the three most stubborn Saiyans into a single thread. Whis, you have chosen the most impossible task. They will kill each other before Frieza even gets the chance. Whis grows serious, and therein lies your true obstacle. You three have mastered your individual strengths, but you do not trust one another. Each of you believes himself to be the absolute strongest, but until you accept each other's strength as your own, this Triforce will never form. Do not repel one another's energy, embrace it. This is not a battle of power, it is a battle of trust. The three of them pause for a moment. Goku takes a deep breath and closes his eyes. He is the first to cast his pride aside. He says softly, "Vegeta, Broly, I trust you both. I know this doesn't come easy to us, but right now, in this very moment, I am ready to place my life in your hands. Come on, let's do this together." Vegeta hesitates for a second. For him, trusting anyone was the ultimate hurdle. Then he closes his eyes and mutters quietly, "Just this once, Kakarot. Just this once." Gradually, their energies stop clashing and begin to flow seamlessly into one another. In that instant, a strange sensation washes over them. It is as if they can hear each other's heartbeats, feeling the shared anger, pain, and resolve. Whis guides them into a new state of synchronicity, the Saiyan resonance. Through this, they can feel each other's power, allowing them to support each other's attacks flawlessly with just a glance without needing a single word. Broly looks on in astonishment. I can feel both of your strengths. It's as if we aren't three separate entities, but one. I've felt alone my entire life, but now, for the first time, I am not alone. Even Vegeta speaks, entirely devoid of his usual malice. This feeling, I have never experienced anything like it. A warrior's heart and the power of a legendary Saiyan are flowing alongside my own strength. Perhaps Whis was right. Perhaps alone we were nothing. Whis smiles warmly. Hold on to this exact feeling. In the heat of battle, when everything begins to fall apart, this resonance is what will save you. Before their training can fully progress, Whis' staff suddenly erupts in a blinding light. His expression shifts instantly. He declares, "Time is up. I feared this would happen. Frieza is about to summon the ancient dragon. If he makes his wish, everything will end. We must leave this instant." Goku protests, "But our training isn't even complete." Whis replies, "Now, you must fight relying solely on what you have just learned. There is no other choice." Whis taps his staff, enveloping the trio and Bardock, and in the blink of an eye, they teleport to the remote corner of Universe 7, where Frieza stands. The sight before them steals the breath from their lungs. Arranged before Frieza are 7 colossal Dragon Balls, much larger than standard ones, radiating a primordial, terrifying energy.
Frieza looks at them and sneers. "Oh, so my old enemies have gathered together. How wonderful. It saves me the trouble of hunting you down individually. You have walked straight to the doorstep of your own demise." Bardock yells, "Frieza, step away from those Dragon Balls! You have no idea what you are unleashing." Without even turning to look at him, Frieza replies, "I know exactly what I am doing. I am about to deliver this universe into the hands of a new master, my own." Frieza raises his hands toward the heavens and chants in an ancient tongue. The 7 Dragon Balls ignite simultaneously in a fierce glow. The sky turns pitch black, and from the light, a massive golden dragon emerges, its eyes burning like 2 twin suns. Its voice echoes across the cosmos. "Who has summoned me? State your single wish, and it shall be granted." Frieza throws his head back and laughs. Finally, thousands of years of effort culminate in this single moment. "Listen to me, ancient dragon." Just as Frieza is about to utter his wish, his lips moving to speak, Broly lunges at him with a ferocious roar. "I won't let you make that wish!" But this time, Black Frieza doesn't even turn around. With just a single hand, he halts Broly dead in his tracks. All of Broly's immense momentum stops instantly against that lone hand, as if he had collided with an unyielding wall. Frieza speaks coldly, his gaze still fixed on the dragon. "I am not the same as I was before, Broly. After my defeat that day, you cannot budge me by even a finger now. You are nothing more than a fly buzzing in the path of my victory." Broly grits his teeth, exerting every ounce of his power, but Frieza's hand does not budge an inch. Goku and Vegeta attempt to charge forward to assist, but Frieza releases a massive shockwave blast that hurls Broly, Goku, and Vegeta backward. However, this time the 3 of them do not scatter. Stabilizing themselves mid-air, they halt in perfect unison, and their energies instantly begin to resonate. An unfamiliar, overwhelming power starts to circulate among them.
Goku opens his eyes, which now burn with a silver brilliance. He commands, "Vegeta, Broly, the time has come, just like we learned, together." Vegeta smirks. Today, Frieza will learn what a Saiyan prince, a true warrior, and a legendary Saiyan can accomplish when they stand as one. The 3 of them charge toward Frieza simultaneously, their powers bound together like a single thread, flowing in absolute harmony. Seeing this, the smirk vanishes from Frieza's face for the very first time. The combined energy of the trio is rushing toward him like a devastating tsunami, a force the likes of which he has never felt before. A singular power that seamlessly fuses Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, and the legendary form. Frieza takes a step back. For the first time in ages, his eyes reflect the very sensation he has spent thousands of years trying to erase. Fear. Masking his terror, he screams, "What? What is this power? This is impossible. I have spent my entire life rising above this. No matter, I will erase all of you together. Bringing his hands together, he unleashes his largest, most catastrophic attack directly at them, the Chaos Ball. The dark sphere expands, swallowing half the sky as it hurtles toward them, its sheer presence causing that entire sector of Universe 7 to tremble. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly look at one another. No words are spoken, but through their resonance, a single thought echoes in all their hearts. This attack must be stopped.
The collision between Frieza's Chaos Ball and the combined energy of the three Saiyans shakes the very foundations of the cosmos. Cracks begin to splinter across the fabric of space, looking like a shattered sky of glass. Even the most distant stars tremble, violently torn from their orbits. Frieza pours every ounce of his malice into the attack, his eyes bloodshot with pure rage. He screams, "You wretched monkeys think you can surpass me? I spent 10,000 years in isolation to forge this power, and you thought you could bind me with a fragile thread of cooperation? I am the new god of this multiverse." Pushing against the crushing weight of the Chaos Ball, Goku grits his teeth and calls out, "A god isn't someone who hoards the most power, Frieza. A true god stands up for those who can't. That is a truth you were always too blind to see." But then, something miraculous happens, leaving even Beerus and Whis completely paralyzed in awe. The tranquil serenity of Goku's Ultra Instinct, the volatile fury of Vegeta's Ultra Ego, and the raw, unbounded malice of Broly's legendary power begin to bleed into one another. They don't just combine, they fuse entirely. The clash of their distinct energies melts away, giving birth to a brilliant, shimmering platinum aura that floods the entire universe in a blinding silver light. Whis' eyes widen in disbelief as he whispers, "Astonishing. I never foresaw this. The three of them have pushed their resonance to a level where they are fighting as a single unified entity. This is no longer the power of three separate Saiyans. This is their souls beating as one." Beerus tightens his fist, his expression grim. "Even as a god of destruction, I am forced to admit, this power is terrifying." Vegeta looks on, his eyes no longer burning with wild rage, but fixed with a cold, absolute certainty. "You always looked down on us, Frieza. You slaughtered my race, murdered my father, and treated us like dust beneath your feet. But today, the three of us will shatter the very pride you mistook for divinity."
Broly lets out a guttural roar that echoes through the void. "And this is for every single soul you turn to ash!" Simultaneously, the three Saiyans ignite their power to the absolute limit. Broly surges forward, grabbing Frieza's sphere of death with his bare hands. The Chaos Ball burns violently into his flesh, smoke rising from his palms, but he doesn't yield an inch. Vegeta barks out, "Hold it right there, Broly, just a few more seconds." Gnashing his teeth, Broly unleashes a deafening roar, halting Frieza's ultimate attack in its tracks like an immovable mountain. He screams, "Now, Goku, Vegeta, take it! Take everything I have!" Standing right behind Broly, Goku and Vegeta pool their remaining energy into a single focal point. Goku yells, "Vegeta, just like we practiced, perfect harmony!" Vegeta smirks through the pain. "Don't lecture me, Kakarot. Today, we leave nothing behind." Together, they unleash a titanic torrent of energy. The Triple Saiyan Final Flash burst. The beam is a raging tempest of emerald and silver light, carrying the unified weight of their power and their souls. The colossal beam tears right through the center of Frieza's Chaos Ball, shattering it completely before slamming directly into Frieza's chest. A blood-curdling scream rips from Frieza, echoing across the universe. His black form begins to crack and crumble, dark energy leaking violently from his body. In total desperation, Frieza shrieks, his voice cracking with fear for the very first time. "No, this is impossible! I am the strongest! I sacrificed centuries for this single moment! This cannot be!" Broly looks him dead in the eye and says, "You built your power on hatred, Frieza, and hatred is always entirely alone. We built ours on trust. That is why you lose." Choking through the rising smoke, Frieza mutters, "Trust, a pathetic excuse for the weak. I trusted no one, and so I stand alone." For a fleeting second, the rage vanishes from his eyes, replaced by a profound, hollow emptiness, and then his power shatters completely into the void.
The explosion is so cataclysmic that the scattered Dragon Balls are flung across the far reaches of the horizon, and the entire sky turns a blinding, featureless white for a single, fleeting second. As the dense smoke finally clears, Frieza is left cratered into the shattered earth. His body smolders, forcefully reverted back into his small, fragile base form. He is broken to the point of immobility. Decades of ruthless ambition and isolation turn to ash in a heartbeat, the crushing weight of utter defeat etched deeply into his features. Lord Beerus and Whis arrive at the scene. Beerus, with his hands casually resting behind his back, looks down at the defeated tyrant and scoffs. "So, the three of you actually pulled it off and brought him down. I must admit, I didn't expect you all to set your fragile egos so quickly. Impressive work. Perhaps now I can finally get a good night's sleep." Whis smiles gracefully, adding, "And this time the timeline remains untainted. Everything will return to its rightful place. However, one final matter demands our attention." Beerus turns to him, raising an eyebrow. "What's left? Frieza is finished." Whis gestures with his staff toward the glowing ancient summon in the sky. The ancient dragon's wish, it remains unfulfilled, and an incomplete wish is just as volatile as fractured time itself. Let us see who steps forward to claim it. Just then, Bardock's eyes lock onto the ancient dragon. The beast still looms overhead, its burning gaze fixed upon them, waiting for its purpose to be served. Bardock begins to step forward, his pace slow and deliberate. He glances briefly at Broly, then shifts his gaze to Goku. A profound, tranquil peace settles over his face, as if his mind had been made up long before the dust even settled. He knows full well that if time repairs itself, his presence in this timeline will cease to exist, that his story might end exactly where it originally began. Yet, there isn't a single shred of regret in his heart. Standing before the towering deity of light, Bardock speaks, his voice steady. "Hear me, dragon. Grant my wish. I ask for nothing for myself, not my life, nor the resurrection of my fallen race. Restore everything exactly to the way it was, every timeline anchored, every stream of time flowing in its rightful direction. But send Broly back to his world, to a place where he can finally live in peace with his friends. That is all I ask." Goku takes a desperate step toward him, panic straining his voice. "Father, wait! Why aren't you wishing for your own life? You can stay here. We can finally be a family. I've only just met you after all these years." Bardock cuts him off with a soft, reassuring smile. A father's ultimate wish is simply to see his children thrive, Kakarot. And today I witnessed it with my own eyes. I saw you become a legendary protector of the universe. I need nothing more than that. If the price of saving the cosmos is just my single long overdue death, then it is a bargain I will gladly strike.
The dragon's eyes flare with a piercing, blinding brilliance as its voice echoes, "Your wish has been granted." A radiant torrent of light erupts, enveloping the battlefield. Broly looks back at Bardock, Goku, and Vegeta. For the first time in his chaotic life, his face reflects pure, unadulterated serenity. He speaks softly, his voice trembling slightly. Thank you. You all gave me something I never truly had, the warmth of a family. With a faint, genuine smile, his form begins to blur, gradually dissolving into the light until he vanishes completely. Broly materializes back on planet Wampa, the familiar golden sand beneath his feet, the quiet, desolate sky overhead. Chilai and Limo are sitting nearby, casually sharing a meal. The moment Chilai spots him, she leaps to her feet, dropping her food. "Broly, are you okay? Where on earth did you disappear to?" Broly looks at them and smiles. Every memory remains vivid in his mind. Frieza, Bardock, the ultimate battle, and the blinding platinum light. But the ghosts of the past are finally laid to rest. He walks over and sits down beside them. "I was just on a long journey. A journey where I met my father's people and a warrior who laid down his life just to give me my freedom. But I'm home now, back with both of you."
Chilai looks closely into his eyes, her expression softening. "Something about you looks different. It's like you've seen the whole universe." Broly looks up at the endless sky for a quiet moment before speaking softly. "Yes, I finally saw what it truly means to be alone, and what it means to have someone by your side, and I am glad that I have the two of you." Limo hands him a plate of food, a warm grin on his face. "Well, I'm just glad you're back in one piece. Now eat up, you must be starving, and from now on, don't you dare vanish on us again." Beneath that serene sky, the three of them sit together, their laughter echoing through the quiet wilderness. And in that very moment, reaching out to a warrior lost somewhere deep within the fractured timelines, Broly whispers in his heart, "Thank you, Bardock. I will never forget you." Meanwhile, back on Lord Beerus's planet, Bardock's body begins to dissolve into pieces of pure light, as if time itself is pulling him back to his rightful place. He places a heavy, reassuring hand on Goku. "Kakarot, I am proud of you. You achieved what I never could. You honored the legacy of our race, but more importantly, you stayed true to your heart. A father could never ask for anything more." Tears well up in Goku's eyes. He reaches out to grasp Bardock's hand, but his fingers only slide through a fading, translucent mist. Goku pleads softly, "We will meet again, right, Father? There's still so much I want to ask you, so much I want to tell you. About my family, about my sons. Please, don't go so soon." Bardock looks up toward the heavens, his voice carrying a profound, unshakable peace, devoid of any sorrow. "Without a doubt, Kakarot, as long as Saiyan blood flows through our veins, we will never truly be apart. I am not fading into nothingness. I live on within you, in the very strength that refuses you to break, and the courage that drives you to protect those you love. Whenever you stand up to fight for someone, I will be standing right there beside you."
Vegeta, watching silently from a distance, slowly bows his head, a silent, ultimate sign of respect from one prince to a legendary warrior. And beneath the shifting crimson sky, the two Saiyans, a father and a son, share one final smile, knowing that their story does not end here. It is simply waiting for a brand new beginning. The quiet desolation of planet Wampa offered a fragile peace, but Broly was no longer the feral exile he once was. The profound weight of the multiverse's secrets now rested in his calm eyes as he sat beneath the amber sky, contemplating the cosmic reality of the Dragon Balls. Suddenly, the serene silence fractures.
The very fabric of reality tears open as a swirling, majestic portal of divine energy manifests, cutting through the golden dust. Stepping out of the rift is no hostile invader, but the angelic attendant himself, Whis. Carrying his signature enigmatic smile, he rests his staff lightly on the ground. Forgive the intrusion upon your hard-earned tranquility, Broly, but the cosmos moves in mysterious ways, and I bear a message of monumental consequence for you. Sensing the immense divine pressure, Chilai and Limo instinctively flank Broly, their guards instantly raised. Whis raises his staff, projecting a massive, shimmering celestial hologram. The projection illuminates the desolate landscape, revealing a sight that defies all cosmic history. Planet Vegeta stands completely reborn, its crimson oceans and towering spires pristine and untouched. Among the sprawling military ranks below, two figures command absolute authority: Bardock and King Vegeta standing side by side, rallying the Grand Saiyan Armada. Whis's voice echoes with a rare tone of awe. The ancient dragon interpreted Bardock's final selfless wish on a scale far grander than any of us anticipated. It did not merely anchor your timeline and return you home, Broly. It resurrected the entire Saiyan race within a brand new, untainted timeline. Your bloodline has been given a second chance. Your true home lives once more.
A surge of overwhelming emotion strikes Broly, tears of silent disbelief welling in his eyes as he stares at the phantom image of his living heritage. But Whis's expression turns grave as the hologram shifts, darkened by a suffocating shadow. However, such a massive distortion in the cosmic balance has drawn immediate consequence. Deep within the forgotten abyss of this new multiverse, an ancient terror has awakened and set its sights on the reborn world. Cumber, the evil Saiyan. His malice is absolute, and he intends to reduce your father, your king, and your entire race back into cosmic ash before they can even celebrate their rebirth. Hearing the threat to the father who sacrificed everything for him, Broly stands tall. The ground beneath him violently cracks as a faint, volatile emerald aura begins to bleed from his skin, his voice resonating with an unshakable resolve. Let him come. I spent my whole life being handled like a weapon of destruction, but I will not sit back and watch my people be slaughtered a second time. My power belongs to them now. Whis's smile returns, filled with pride. I expected nothing less from the universe's most formidable protector. July, Limo, prepare yourselves as well. Planet Vegeta is about to face its ultimate trial, and it requires the strength of its absolute strongest warrior. Stepping through the divine rift, the scenery shifts instantly to the harsh, crimson atmosphere of the reborn planet. Thousands of Saiyan elites stand in perfect, iron-clad armor, their combined battle power shaking the atmosphere. At the apex of the vanguard stands Bardock, his arms crossed, staring directly toward the heavens, as if he knew exactly when his son would answer the call. But the reunion is brutally cut short. A cataclysmic wave of pitch black, suffocating dark energy surges from the depths of space, rapidly enveloping the planet's upper atmosphere. The sheer weight of the malice is paralyzing. Suddenly, a deafening, monstrous roar rips through the void of space, a sound of pure, unadulterated evil that causes the Saiyan soldiers to falter in terror. Cumber has arrived. Breaking the sound barrier, Broly blasts off from the vanguard, rocketing into the upper atmosphere to intercept the darkness. He drops directly in front of the colossal bound force of evil, his towering shadow defying the dark god's presence. Broly's voice booms with absolute authority, echoing across the battlefield below. This planet belongs to the Saiyans. It is under my protection now. And I promise you, monster, you will not leave this world alive.
With a thunderous explosion of raw power, Broly skips past his limits, his hair flashing into the blinding, radiant green of his legendary Super Saiyan form. The sheer pressure of his transformation violently repels Cumber's dark miasma. Without waiting a single millisecond, Broly launches himself forward, his fist colliding with Cumber's dark barrier in a shockwave that literally warps the planet's gravitational field. The sky splits in two as the ultimate war of dominance begins. The legendary Saiyan versus the evil Saiyan. The impact of the first collision radiates through the very mantle of the newly reborn planet Vegeta, causing the tectonic plates to grind and groan in violent protest. The atmosphere, once a pristine crimson, instantly mutates into a sickening shade of bruised purple and blood red under the sheer pressure of their competing battle powers. In the center of this cosmic storm stands Cumber, a towering monument of pure malice clad in ancient, heavily reinforced black armor. The gaps in his visor pulse with a terrifying crimson light that bleeds into the air like fresh wounds, his entire presence leaking a suffocating, corruptive energy.
Cumber lets out a low, vibrating laugh that shakes the rubble beneath his heavy boots before twisting his face into a mask of pure fury. So the cosmic archives did not lie. You are the anomaly, the legendary Super Saiyan of this era. But look upon me, boy. Under the crushing weight of my evil aura, that pathetic emerald glow of yours will fade into absolute nothingness. I am the shadow that smothers the light of creation. Without waiting for a response, Cumber thrusts his gauntlets forward. The dark miasma bleeding from his frame coalesces into solid matter, manifesting as the shadow chains, monstrous barbed links of concentrated dark energy that tear through the sound barrier. Broly, still adjusting to the sudden weight of his legendary form, is caught off guard. The chains wrap violently around his massive neck, his torso and his limbs, binding him in a vice-like grip. These are no ordinary constructs. The moment the dark metal bites into Broly's skin, a horrific burning hiss echoes across the battlefield. The chains act as parasitic conduits, violently siphoning his raw green life force and feeding it directly back into Cumber. Broly's massive frame trembles as the sudden drain forces a guttural roar of agony from his chest, his vision blurring as the corruptive energy threatens to hijack his sanity. Seeing the savior of their race falling into a fatal trap, Bardock breaks rank from the vanguard, his Saiyan armor clicking as he powers up his own aura. Broly, do not let that darkness pierce your mind. Sever the connection before his aura drives you into a mindless frenzy. Break free! But Cumber's spatial awareness is absolute. Without even breaking his gaze at Broly, the evil Saiyan lifts a single finger. A concentrated, pitch-black, compressed ki blast erupts from his fingertip, traveling at near light speed. The projectile slams dead center into Bardock's chest armor, detonating in a shockwave that hurls the veteran warrior thousands of meters across the rocky plains, plowing him deep into a distant cliffside.
From the relative safety of the rear lines, Chi-Lai grips Lemo's flight jacket, her knuckles turning white as she watches the horrific display. Lemo, we can't just stand here and watch. Look at him. Broly is completely trapped. If those chains drain any more of his power, he's going to break. Lemo grits his teeth, his hand hovering over his blaster, paralyzed by the sheer impossibility of matching the power of the gods clashing before them. Bound, bleeding, and fighting the dark whispers creeping into his consciousness, Broly shuts his eyes. The chaotic roar of the battlefield fades into a distant hum. Deep within the core of his soul, he searches for an anchor. He remembers the rigorous, exhausting mental conditioning under Whis, the concept of the Saiyan resonance. Even though Goku's boundless optimism and Vegeta's unyielding, calculated pride are lifetimes away in a different corner of reality,
Their spirits remain etched into his very DNA. They had shared their souls once, and that bond was eternal. Instead of fighting the chains by pushing his energy outward, which only feeds Cumber, Broly undergoes a radical shift. He begins to pull his massive energy inward, compressing the volatile emerald reserves deep into his center, packing the subatomic particles of his ki closer and closer together until his core turns into a hyperdense cosmic forge. To the outside world, the transformation looks like a defeat. The blinding green aura cloaking Broly's body suddenly snaps out of existence. His massive muscles stop expanding, and his frame begins to shudder violently as the internal pressure builds to an impossible degree. Cumber, feeling the sudden cessation of energy flow through his parasitic chains, throws his head back in a booming, arrogant laugh. Is that all the legendary bloodline amounts to? You collapse inward at the first taste of true despair. Have you given up, boy? Have you accepted your place as dust beneath my boots?
The arrogance is short-lived. The absolute silence that follows lasts for a mere fraction of a second before Broly opens his eyes, now glowing with a pristine, terrifying clarity. He unleashes a primal, earth-shattering roar that doesn't just vibrate the air, it shatters the spatial dimensions around him. The immense internal pressure he built up explodes outward in a singular kinetic shockwave. Cumber's unbreakable shadow chains shatter instantly, dissolving into harmless, glittering glass-like shards. But Broly isn't just a legendary Super Saiyan anymore. The compressed resonance has altered his mutation. Bleeding through the roaring torrent of green fire are jagged, violent arcs of golden and deep sapphire blue lightning, the structural signatures of Goku and Vegeta's divine ascension completely weaponized within him. Act 3. Wrath of the New God. Before the sound of the exploding chains can even register in Cumber's ears, Broly vanishes. He leaves behind a vacuum of displaced air so violent it leaves a trench in the bedrock. In a microsecond, Broly materializes directly inside Cumber's guard. His fist, coated in alternating currents of green and blue lightning, buries itself deep into Cumber's midsection. The impact is catastrophic. The ancient dark armor that had withstood centuries of warfare cracks, splinters, and completely disintegrates into flying shrapnel. Cumber's eyes bulge, the air completely driven from his lungs as the sheer kinetic force warps his spine backward. Without offering a single moment of reprieve, Broly reaches out, his massive palm clamping like a steel vise over Cumber's face. Pivoting on his heel, Broly slams the villain headfirst into the dirt. With a burst of blinding speed, he drags Cumber across the planet's surface, carving a mile-wide canyon through the desolate wilderness, deliberately redirecting the destructive momentum completely away from the residential sectors of the reborn Saiyan village to ensure his people remain untouched.
Cumber, his face battered and his armor in ruins, manages to hurl himself backward, coughing up dark blood. Desperation replaces his arrogance. Gathering every remaining drop of his dark reserves, he raises his hands above his head, forming the Shadow Eraser, a massive, unstable singularity of pitch-black antimatter that threatens to swallow the planet whole if detonated. I will drag this entire wretched world into hell with me, Cumber screams, his voice cracking with madness. But Broly is already airborne, hovering like a vengeful deity against the crimson sun. He brings both hands back, drawing from the infinite reservoir of his newly discovered resonance. A massive, perfectly stable sphere of brilliant emerald light manifests between his palms, crackling with divine blue electricity. The air around the sphere begins to hum a beautiful, terrifying melody of absolute destruction. Broly looks down at the monster, his voice steady, echoing with the authority of a true protector. Gigantic destruction! Broly hurls the beam.
The massive torrent of emerald fire doesn't just collide with Cumber's shadowy racer, it completely envelops it, crushing the antimatter singularity out of existence through sheer, overwhelming density. The beam continues its downward trajectory, passing effortlessly through Cumber's chest. The villain doesn't even have time to scream as the massive kinetic blast carries his body straight out of the atmosphere, detonating in a silent, blinding supernova deep within the empty void of space. Cumber is gone, his malice completely erased from the cosmic ledger. Epilogue: The Saints of Vegeta. An absolute, heavy silence blankets planet Vegeta. The dust slowly settles, revealing the thousands of elite Saiyan warriors, King Vegeta, and a bruised but smiling Bardock, all staring up at the sky in stunned, reverent silence. Broly slowly descends, his massive aura fading back into his calm, mortal state as his boots touch the soil.
King Vegeta, the proud monarch who had once exiled the boy out of fear, steps forward through the parting ranks. His royal cape flows in the wind as he looks at the young warrior who just saved their entire civilization from a second extinction. Without a word, the king draws his ceremonial royal blade and, in a gesture that shocks the entire vanguard, kneels down and places the hilt directly at Broly's feet. The king raises his voice, sending it echoing across the crimson valleys. "Hear me, sons of Sadala! Today we do not stand in the shadow of fear. Today we stand in the light of our salvation. From this moment forth, Broly is no longer an exile. He is our shield, our vanguard, our Saiyan God. Under his eternal watch, no force in the multiverse shall ever dare to touch planet Vegeta again." As one united voice, the thousands of assembled soldiers raise their fists to the sky, their roars shaking the heavens. "Broly! Broly! Broly!" Bardock walks through the cheering crowd, his eyes shining with an emotion he hadn't felt in lifetimes. He places a firm, warm hand on his son's massive shoulder, his voice thick with pride. "You did it, son. You didn't just fight for survival. You saved our home." Broly, looking around the grand assembly, lets out a soft, genuine smile, the final remnants of his tragic past completely washing away. He turns his head to see Chilai and Limo running toward him, their faces bright with relief. Planet Vegeta was alive, the Saiyan race was reborn, and for the first time in his entire life, Broly wasn't a weapon of isolation. He had a home, he had his people, and most importantly, he had a family that would stand by his side until the end of time.